Who knew that having a sense of refined style and a penchant for creating jaw-dropping designs could make you a billionaire? Well, that pretty much describes the man behind the $8.21 billion business Ralph Lauren. Excited to know how this great visionist went from selling clothes he was passionate about to making over $6.4 billion in annual revenue? We're here to tell you just that. In the beginning, there were men's clothes. In particular, 1960s men's clothes. The kind of style prevailing at that time was popular with everyone, except one man, Ralph Lauren. Seeing the uninspiring designs around him and finding himself with a lot of time on his hands, Ralph wanted to buck the trends of his day. He began making clothes for himself, clothes that spoke to him on a level beyond what the physical eye desires. Ralph believed that fashion could undergo a transformative revolution if more attention to detail went into the design process of various ties, shirts, and other apparel. Wanting to pursue those ambitions for real and grow bigger, Ralph took on a sales job at the Brooks Brothers in New York when he was 24. This job was the first among many where Ralph would turn his passion for fashion into art. During his time with the Brooks Brothers, he focused on making neckwear. The experience taught him a lot, and while the Brooks Brothers refused to give him time to design things himself, the experience served him well when he moved on to strike out on his own. This time, it was Ralph making his own designs out of a drawer provided by the manufacturer Beau Brummel. Ralph was 28 at this point, and the year was 1967. Ralph's work was at the polo division of Beau Brummel, and the ties Ralph made were hugely influenced by English designs. Each tie was made of the highest quality fabric materials, contributing to that eye-popping look that Ralph was known for creating. Ralph Lauren was selling a lot of ties at this point, and now, he decided it was time to announce the birth of his brand. The Ralph Lauren brand was born, named after the man himself who revolutionized fashion. Beau Brummel continued to be Ralph's main manufacturer, and the man was selling ties like hot potatoes all over Manhattan. Ralph wanted to grow bigger still, and his next target was selling to Bloomingdale. At first, they wanted Ralph to settle for a few business compromises. For example, they wanted to reduce the width of his ties, which Ralph refused. And they wanted him to replace his brand's name with Sutton East. Ralph refused again. He decided to visit other stores and offer his suggestions. To his surprise, however, Bloomingdale would come knocking 6 months later, asking Ralph if they could order an entire rack and case of his signature polo ties. Ralph's answer was yes, and he secured another victory. In 1970, Ralph would launch a full fashion line. In 1971, he made the first collection of ties for women. Up until that point, Ralph had only focused on men's fashion. In 1972, Ralph hit the big leagues for real. He introduced the world to an amazing aesthetic craft, a short-sleeved collared sports shirt with the signature polo pony on it. People immediately loved this new stylish shirt, and it was named the Polo Shirt. The next 3 decades that followed would see Ralph Lauren expanding internationally, with many types of products launching as well. There were colognes, denim lines, and many luxury labels never seen before. During the 2000s, Ralph Lauren began going digital. This started with the launch of Polo.com, a website that merged great fashion content with the e-commerce potential that would later spread throughout the World Wide Web. Polo.com offered sneak peeks into the latest collections launched by the company, along with exclusive interviews, fashion advice, and more. This trend in merging technology with fashion would continue well into the 2010s and beyond. You might think the man behind the brand focused on fashion only, but Ralph was a passionate supporter of breast cancer treatments and initiatives. Some of Ralph Lauren's biggest contributions to solving this problem included opening a whole new center in New York dedicated to helping breast cancer patients called the Ralph Lauren Center for Cancer Care. This focus on improving breast cancer research would grow over the years when Ralph Lauren opened another breast cancer research center in London. As of right now, Ralph Lauren has become a global luxury brand with a strong presence in over 50 countries, 446 distribution channels throughout Asia, 193 factory stores in North America, 151 stores in operation all over the world, 175 retail stores, and 22,000 employees around the world. As of 2022, 32% of Ralph Lauren's sales come from strong e-commerce business and marketing efforts. Ralph Lifshitz's rags to riches success story is something we hear about only in fantasy stories. The man accomplished everything he set out to do, from making clothes for himself to building a global fashion empire known for its slick designs and uncompromising aesthetics. The word polo has become synonymous with the brand and the trademark shirt that revolutionized men's fashion. Lots of people dream of becoming millionaires. The difference is, Ralph knew he wanted to be one right from the get-go. He stuck to his guns when it came to deciding which design attracted more customers, and which style would go viral if the right sales strategy was implemented. Ralph Lauren's success story is an inspiration to all. It tells us how people should always follow their passions in life, even if it does not lead them to their final goal right away. Some key takeaways from Ralph Lauren's story that have educational value are: knowing how to leverage a team of experts to help you realize your vision is so vital. Ralph never studied design in a formal context, yet he had an eye for talent, and that helped him pick the right people for his company. Ralph is a master of outside-the-box thinking. His foresight and focus on achieving long-term goals allowed him to come up with creative solutions to various business problems. He didn't waste time daydreaming. He literally just started. This is a very valuable lesson because when you start doing something, it's easier to build on top of it and refine it later than to never start in the first place. Ralph made a tie when he started. That single tie soon turned into an entire business, and decades later, a lasting legacy. Accepting setbacks and adapting is very important. When you do anything worth doing, you're bound to fail a lot. Ralph understood that really well, and it gave him the motivation to constantly push himself to greater heights of success. It never crossed his mind to give up after one single failure, not at all. Passive income should become your final destination if you want to be wealthy. If you spend all your life working for others, forget about becoming a millionaire. Remember, Ralph Lauren set out to become a millionaire from day one. Through trial and error, he found that passive income is the best way to accomplish that goal fast. Know your customer. In the industry fashion, that's easier said than done. Trends come and go, seasons bring with them new styles and clothing choices, and people's tastes in fashion change with each decade. However, for Ralph Lauren, he never let that get in the way. He took the time to understand what each customer wanted when they went searching for a tie or a polo shirt. This is what makes his brand truly special. The wide variety of fashion choices presented appeals to his target audience, no matter what era you're living in. Finally, Ralph Lauren is a lesson in never giving up on your ideals. He went against the grain in everything he did. Whether it was the unorthodox fashion he created, the non-corporate style of handling business he was always known for, or his tenacity in sticking to his guts when everyone else told him otherwise. Ralph is an example to follow when we discuss never succumbing to peer pressure or following societal norms blindly. At the end of the day, Ralph was just a tie designer with no real capital and no safety net, yet his entrepreneurial spirit carried him to his dream destination of dominating the fashion industry. The above lessons should give every one of us some food for thought the next time we want to start a business. All greats have something to teach us. What about you? Did this story inspire you? What if we told you there's lots more in store if you click next after this video? Alright then, check out our collection of the world's biggest success stories, memorable brands, and crazy statistics right now.